Vibrato has been a topic, very popular topic for a lot of people. Still remains one of the most popular topics for bloggers, video bloggers, such as myself, and many others. And if you think about it, we live in the 21st century. We should have figured out the vibrato by now, and it should be pretty easy to learn. And yet, here we are, still talking about it, still trying to, make sense of it, decompress it, take it apart and understand it and study it. And why? I'm interested to get a little deeper. So let's find out. You say vibrato, I say vibrato. Let's call the whole thing off. Let's look at the history of vibrato. The use of vibrato on violin does not have a single inventor, as it evolved gradually over time as a part of violin technique. Vibrato has been used by string players for centuries, with early references dating back to the late 16th and early 17th centuries. One of the earliest mentions of vibrato can be found in L'Art del Violino by Francesco Gimignani, published in 1751, where he describes vibrato, referred to as close shake, as a desirable ornament that adds expressiveness to the tone. However, vibrato was not used consistently in all music during this period. It became more widely adopted as a continuous expressive technique during the 19th century, particularly in the Romantic era, when the expressive capabilities of the violin were increasingly emphasized. Key violinists such as Joseph Joachim and Leopold Auer were very influential in developing and promoting the use of vibrato in their teaching and performances, helping to standardize its use as an essential part of violin technique. In summary, vibrato on violin evolved over time rather than being invented by a single individual, with its usage becoming more widespread and systematic in the 18th and 19th centuries. If you do a Google search, you're going to find all kinds of helpful hints and helpful material about how to learn vibrato. And the problem is, I think, is just too much. There's just so much of information available. It's hard to tell which of it is actually helpful and which is just noise. So I'm going to try and offer my own version based on how I was trained in school to teach students, and I've been using the same method to teach my own students ever since, and it's been pretty successful. So let me give you a very simple version without getting too deep into details. For the purposes of this video, we're going to discuss just a general type of vibrato. One of the first steps you want to do is find the 7th position on violin with the first finger. We can start on D string and slowly start with that note. You sort of playing scale, up and down. You can just play on one string. You really don't have to make it any more complicated. At first, you want to find stability of the hand, and you need to make sure the hand is relaxed. If the hand is going through some level of tightness, this isn't going to work. So you need to find the absolute relaxation of the hand first. And make sure that your hand in this position is not laying on the body of the violin. So it's stopping right here and really isn't touching the actual body of the violin very much. The reason we're starting with the 7th position is because it's adding an extra layer of stability. You can also do this with a wall. You can stand with the wall for extra support, and practice that. And you'll have to be in 7th position. Then you can do it in 1st position, really. When practicing vibrato, it's really useful to use a metronome. So for this presentation, I would use 60 click, like so. I would use quarter note vibrato with 2nd finger. Like so. Then you can try the same thing with the 3rd finger. In a similar fashion, you would continue for a while. Give yourself some time and expect results to occur at least after like a week, maybe 2 weeks of practicing this way. And start off slowly, then move up to 70 clicks, basically doing the same thing I just showed you. And finally, move up to like 80 clicks. And of course, the more you can go, the better. But it's important to note that you need to spend substantial amount of time at 60, practicing slowly, then in a few days move up to 70, keep it 70, then to 80. And feel free to kind of mess around with the metronome settings. Go back down again, try going up again, and kind of start feeling the results that you're getting, the feedback that you're getting with the vibrato. Also, you might work in triplets as well. It's basically a similar idea I just showed, but you would go up da dee da dee da da dee da da dee da da, like so. Let me play it. I play better than I sing. And it might be a good idea to try quadruplets. Remember, your goal is not beautiful tone. Your goal is understanding the motion and achieving automation through slow practice and repetition for a while. That's basically it. So once you achieve the 80, maybe 90 or 100, then at that point it's just speed. And you're welcome to decide for yourself how fast the rate of vibrato works for you. And this is a kind of a personal choice that you're gonna have to discover yourself. Personally, I don't like very fast vibrato. I find it annoying and not beautiful, but that's just me, my personal choice. I kind of tend to enjoy vibrato more when it's at a slower rate, and to me that's more tasteful, but it's a matter of just personal preference. Step 2 is learn how to rock the fingers, starting with second and third fingers. Those are the easiest to start with. So we're going to do finger 2. So here, I encourage you to first start moving the finger up and down a little bit. It's gonna sound like a slow glissando at first. You want the hand to be turned this way, and it needs to be free of any tension or any discomfort whatsoever. I could be doing this for a long time and not get tired. I could really be doing this all day and not get tired at all. Well, maybe not all day, but for hours for sure. Eventually the tips of my fingers would get pretty sore from strings, but the actual hand is not really gonna get tired very much. So it's really important also that you're holding the instrument correctly and it's not sliding very much. So if it's a little bit insecure, the little bit of a vibrato motion will start moving the instrument with it. You want to avoid that. So that's important to note here. As you're going also through this motion, you want to remind yourself to not go too fast. You want to kind of have the speed limit set for yourself and not go over it very much. Try to stick with it. It's better to have a slower and more quality, rich, warm vibrato versus fast and making it sound like a goat. That would not be desirable, I don't think. And you see a lot of that when people go a little bit overboard and they speed up the rate of vibrato a little bit too much. Not good. The hardest finger to learn to vibrate is the pinky, and tricky thing. So first, before you attempt or even think about attempting vibrato with the pinky, you need to master the middle finger and the ring finger. Then you're gonna do the index finger, and only last one after all those three, you're gonna try and do the pinky. And the pinky will never work as well as the second or third finger, but your goal is to get to as close to the second and third finger or first finger as you can. But naturally, pinky is just not as dominant. It's a weaker finger, so keep that in mind as you're learning this. To summarize, we have multiple things. You need to be very relaxed. You need to find support. Use the wall. That's a great exercise. Also, don't expect results to happen very quickly. This is a slow burn. It's gonna take weeks to really develop a healthy habit of vibrato. Use scales and go slowly. Be really patient. Only consistency will lead you to a good vibrato. It's not gonna happen overnight. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why people are so fixated with vibrato, because they want results fast. And that just doesn't work in a vibrato. I'm sorry. I've never seen a person pick up vibrato in 5 minutes. So, So when you see a video on social media, that claims to teach you vibrato in 60 seconds or less, I think you should be skeptical. It's not a very fast process. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you wish to get more familiar with the vibrato and discuss this at a personal level with me as a teacher, we can book a lesson. I'll be happy to explain this in more detail. I'm sure you can find my information all over the internet, but it's on my website as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.